Do you ever feel like you're repeating the same tide patterns over and over again, like a mouse stuck in a wheel? Well, this stoic exercise that's over 2,000 years old is going to help you break all those bad habits, change your life. I promise you that. Before I dive into this life-changing exercise, I'm going to do something that's going to be really eye-opening for you. Take a look at this picture here, just pause the video for 30 seconds, and write in the comment section exactly what you see. Okay, you did that? Awesome. So to understand this exercise, we first need to understand who Seneca was. Now, Seneca was one of the most powerful people in Rome. He was one of the most respected people in Rome. He was incredibly wealthy, intelligent, very successful. As a matter of fact, he was the tutor to the Emperor Nero. So he kind of was a big shot. And this exercise here was his bread and butter. To understand it, we first must dive into this quote. I make use of this opportunity, daily pleading my case in my own court. When the light has been taken away and my wife has fallen silent, aware as she is of my habit, I examine my entire day, going through what I have done and said. I conceal nothing from myself. I pass nothing by. I have nothing to fear from my errors. When I can say, see that you do not do this anymore. For the moment, I excuse you. Now, what Seneca is talking about there is his evening routine. Basically, right before he goes to sleep, he sits down, he reflects on the whole day from start to finish, from as soon as he wakes up, takes a shower, and he pays attention to how he conducts himself. What did he say to the people that he encountered that day? Was he rude? Was he patient? Was he disciplined? Did he exercise in the morning? Did he eat healthy? Did he conduct himself to the highest of stoic ideals? He does this all in the third person. He says that he pleads his case at his court. So what he's doing here is a visualization process, seeing himself as if he's in a courtroom, pleading his case, explaining why he did things a certain type of way. This is very powerful because when you see yourself from a different perspective, from a different vantage point, let's say in the third person, it's called dissociation. So you can see your actions more objectively. When we look in the first person, we see things more subjectively because they're closer to us. This is very popular in neuro-linguistic programming. They use dissociative and associative visualizations all the time because it works, right? When someone is going through trauma, let's say they're getting abused or someone is sexually harassing them or whatever, a lot of the times they dissociate. It's a protective mechanism that the body automatically uses so that the person doesn't get as hurt. So in this case, we're using it in a positive light. We're dissociating to remove any biases that we might have. It's very easy for us as humans to see the problems that other people have and to judge them. But it's very difficult for us to look at ourselves objectively and see where our flaws lie. So that's why this dissociative visualization is so powerful. And when you picture this courtroom situation, there's that need, that feeling of telling the truth. So remember earlier in the video, I told you to comment on what you saw in that picture. What if this time I tell you to look for a cow? Pause the video for 30 seconds and see if you can find it. Did you find it? It's right there in front of your eyes. So why was it easy for you to find the cow this time as opposed to earlier in the video when I told you to list what you could find? It's because I gave you the intention. I gave you the direction. And when someone gives you direction, whether it's someone else or yourself, your subconscious mind works towards realizing that. So your brain looks at its database of memories and looks at different images of cows from maybe cartoons you've seen or real cows you've seen in the real world and helps you find the cow in the picture very quickly. And this all happens subconsciously, not consciously. The important thing is awareness, intention, and that's what drives this process. To give you another example, imagine you're in a noisy room at a party, right? And you're trying to pay attention to conversations happening around you, but all you're hearing is just a bunch of noise and nothing's happening. But then someone calls you by your name. You automatically turn and face their direction. Without even thinking about it, you automatically turn to see who's calling your name. So why is that? Why does that happen? It's because awareness is on the spectrum. You could be aware of different things in life. The lowest level of awareness is perhaps being drugged out or super drunk and not even knowing where you are, who you are. And then there's high levels of awareness when you're fully immersed in what you're doing, when you're pretty much the embodiment of what you're doing. Maybe a musician, a violinist playing some music, or someone surfing. You kind of become one with what's in front of you. That's a very high level of awareness, what some would call the flow state. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, Hungarian psychologist, talks about this. So in life, we have this spectrum, and as humans, we can't be aware of everything all at once. We have to concentrate our awareness, and that's where the power is. So when it comes to your name, because that's a learned behavior, you've become more sensitive to that. So your awareness is heightened, and you can detect straight away when someone calls your name. That's the same thing with this cow situation. When I asked you to look for the cow, it appeared in front of you. It's always been there, but your awareness directs itself in that way. So what the hell does this have to do with Seneca's evening routine? Seneca deliberately goes through his whole day and figures out why he didn't perform at his best. He figures out why he wasn't disciplined, where he fell short. Now, this deliberate approach to life, when you're looking at your actions, like you're studying for an exam, is incredibly powerful because it now directs your awareness to that. If you notice that you procrastinate very early in the morning because you're always on YouTube, for instance, watching a bunch of Mr. Beast's video or whatever the hell you watch on YouTube, that awareness will help you the next day because now you know what the problem is. And before you sit down there on the computer and start hammering away at YouTube, you now have a choice. You have a choice before it's too late. So that's why it's powerful. The more times you consciously put your awareness to your shortcomings, towards the problems you have in life, the easier it will become for you to increase your awareness for those things, where it just happens automatically, where you don't have to consciously fight against yourself to make things happen. You've trained your brain to see those things. You've trained that antenna to pick up on that signal. And that's when your life changes. So I've been experimenting with this exercise for a while, and the best approach that I've personally used is separating my life into 3 main categories: relationships, health, and wealth. So every night I look at those 3 categories. I look at how I treat the people in my life, the loved ones, my girlfriend, family members, people I do business with. Have I conducted myself in a way that's consistent with my highest ideal? I then look at my health, my workout routines. Did I really push myself today, or did I slack off? Did I not even go to the gym at all? Right? I'm honest with myself. I take note because every single thing helps. I look at my nutrition, the types of foods I'm eating. Have I been eating healthy? Have I been falling off? It's all good. We just want the raw data so that we can become aware of it. Then we move over to wealth. What income building activities did I do? Did I create more value in the world? Did I work on my business, or did I slack off today? Everything is taken into stock. Everything is measured. Everything is looked at objectively, because it's only when we put that awareness to these things that we can get better. And this exercise is best done in a journal. So there's something about writing things down that just completely changes the game. When you think about things in your mind, a lot of times they kind of elude you and move around. It's very lucid and moving and whatnot. But when you write it down, it's concrete, right? You can't lie to yourself when you write things down. So nighttime is the best time to reflect on your day and to set your intention for the next day and how you're going to approach it. And you'll see that through doing this exercise consistently, day after day after day after day, you start figuring out what blocks you, what things get in your way, what things are stopping you, how you self-sabotage yourself, the words you say to yourself that are very disempowering. You're going to start figuring all these things out systematically, one by one by one. And if you get better just a little bit every single day, within a year, you won't even be able to recognize yourself. So I've been doing this exercise for a while, as I told you, consistently for 28 days straight. I recommend you do it. I challenge you to do it. I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. Do this, and I promise you'll be one step closer to living and dying well. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell notifications so we can see more of each other. Until next time.